You're not who you think you are. You never were. That label you've been dragging around, fiction. A bad Netflix show you forgot to cancel. You're not an alcoholic. You're not the shy one. You're not the failure of the family. Those are just costumes you put on until they rotted into your skin. The second you decide differently, the whole thing collapses. Identity isn't a prison. It's a story, and stories can be rewritten. If you were to make a list of everything you called yourself in the past year, lazy, tired, introvert, people pleaser, workaholic, well, you'd basically have a shopping receipt of excuses. None of those things are actually you. They're just the roles you played long enough that you started believing they were your DNA. Identity isn't something you're hiding in your chest like a soul stone. It's a bunch of stories you rehearsed until you forgot they were optional. We live like our choices stack into a permanent record. One drink too many and you're an alcoholic. One failed exam and you're stupid. One breakup and you're unlovable. But identity isn't made of choices. It's made of the stories we tell about those choices. When you realize you're not your decisions, you're not your past, you're not the dumb labels, they'll stop controlling you. You won't be trying to find yourself. You'll realize you were never lost. You were just playing a role written by someone else. Society loves to box people up, tie a neat little bow, and say, that's who you are. Labels make you predictable, and predictable people are easy to manage. The problem is labels don't describe reality. They create it. The moment you accept, I am this, you start acting like it's true. Someone drinks for years and decides to quit. In that instant, the whole story shifts. You're not an alcoholic fighting it every day. You're someone who used to drink and then didn't. That's it. The rest is a ghost story. Stop feeding it. And if you've ever sat in a room where everyone introduces themselves and say, hi, I'm blank, and I'm you know what I mean. That's not recovery. That's rehearsing a lie until it becomes permanent. Maybe you've been told your whole life you're shy. Every time you avoid speaking up, you reinforce the story. Not because you are shy, because someone threw that word on you at age 6 and it stuck. A label is nothing but graffiti sprayed on the walls of your brain. And the longer you stare at it, the more permanent it feels. We think choices add up to identity. As if missing the gym 3 times makes you lazy. No, it makes you a human who skipped 3 workouts. That's it. Choices are data points. Stories are the glue we use to stitch them together into something that feels permanent. The gym guy doesn't just miss a day. He tells himself, I always fall off track. This is who I am. Boom. Identity trap. The choice wasn't the problem. The story was. The brain is addicted to these stories. It loves consistency. It loves saying, if I've been like this before, I must be like this forever. But you're not. You're a series of snapshots, not a fixed movie. Every morning is a reboot, but you keep reinstalling last night's software. If identity is fake, why does it matter? Because when you believe your labels, you stop changing. You say, I'm not confident. Translation, I've decided my brain is carved in stone. Neuroscience says otherwise. Your brain rewires every day. Habits are grooves, not prisons. Every I am statement is a cage you built, then locked from the inside. You're not the anxious one. You're someone who had anxious thoughts, and now you have different ones. But you won't if you keep clinging to the old stories. People cling to their identity like it's sacred. I'm a night owl. Translation, I like Netflix more than discipline. I'm a perfectionist. Translation, I'm addicted to excuses dressed up as high standards. The stories sound knowable, but they're padded cells. They keep you safe, still, and small. You'd rather defend your prison walls than admit the door was never locked? You are not your mistakes. You're not even your decisions. You're not the highlight reel of your worst days. You are the thing choosing right now. Which means the past can collapse the moment you stop giving it CPR. If you quit smoking today, you're not a smoker in recovery. You're a non-smoker. End of story. The identity dies the moment you starve it. So stop embalming corpses of who you used to be. People cling to their wounds because they think it proves they're real. All it proves is that you're rehearsing the same script Marcus Aurelius wrote about how men wear grief like armor, using it to announce who they are. Nothing's changed. Today, we call it authenticity. But authenticity isn't repeating pain until it defines you. It's choosing differently and letting the past rot without you. So stop saying, I am useless, unless it's followed by something you choose in the present. Instead of, I am lazy, say, I am choosing to rest. Instead of, I am broken, say, I am choosing to heal. Words matter. They create neural patterns. Swap the stories and the wiring follows. Look at anyone reinventing themselves completely. They didn't discover a hidden identity. They chose a new one and lived it until it stuck. The artists who reinvented every decade, The athlete who blew out their knee became a coach. The addict who becomes a therapist. None of them found themselves. They just stopped playing the old part. Imagine if Bowie had clung to Ziggy Stardust like it was tattooed on his soul. He would have been a parody of himself by 30, but he didn't. He shed it. And that's the real lesson. Identity isn't discovered, it's designed. And if you're tired of dragging around hand-me-down identities, come hang out with my school community. It's not a self-help echo chamber. It's where overthinkers and creators strip off these fake costumes and actually rewire their minds. Links in the description and pinned comment. Join if you're serious about rewriting your script. Think of identity like art. Painters reinvent themselves all the time. Picasso wasn't a cubist forever. Bowie wasn't Ziggy Stardust forever. Artists treat identity like a costume. They wear it, shed it, and move on. But normal people cling to theirs like it's a life sentence. You're allowed to outgrow yourself. You're allowed to change the entire plot mid-story. That's what being alive is for. Ban yourself from I am statements for a week unless they're followed by something you choose. No, I'm a procrastinator. Replace it with I am choosing not to start yet. See how fast that power drains out of your excuses? Journal this. Write the old label, cross it out, rewrite the choice you're making now. Do that daily and watch your brain panic. Then rewire. It won't feel easy. Your brain will fight to keep the old identity alive. It will throw your flashbacks, guilt, and doubt. It will whisper, this is who you are. Don't let go. That's just withdrawal. Your brain's detoxing from its favorite drug, the illusion of certainty. Push through that and you'll see what's under the mask. Freedom, stories matter. Nations are built on them. Religions run on them. Families pass them down like cursed heirlooms. And you've been running the same bedtime story on loop in your head. Identity isn't who you are. It's who you agreed to be when you were too young, too tired, and too scared to push back. But you're not the kid anymore. You can burn the script. Identity is fluid. It's a costume, not a skeleton. You were never who you thought you were. You were only ever rehearsing a script. The instant you drop that role, it's over. You don't need decades of therapy to become someone new. You already are. The story just hasn't caught up yet. If this video cracked open your skull, good, because once you realize identity is a story, the next step is obvious. Growth. Real growth. And growth will always destroy natural talent. That's the video you need to watch next. It's going to be linked right here or here somewhere. Go see why self-growth eats talent for breakfast.